The winds have shifted in Alethi. Once Kholinar shone, a beacon of pride and glory. Now its towers groan beneath the weight of despair. Its people whisper of shadows moving in the rain, of oaths long broken beneath the thunder's roar. 4 souls drawn together, bound by threads unseen. An investigator chasing truth through a city drowning in secrets. A thief, mercenary by name, but fierce of heart, determined to save the home that scorns them. A fabric cloaked in falsehood, shaping light and metal, seeking to forge a better tomorrow before the storm consumes the present. The Vorin woman, staring defiance into the eyes of destiny, striving to become more than her world dares to allow. The city trembles. Cults, old and forgotten, whisper beneath the weeping stone. And from the tempest comes a call for those who would speak the last ideal.
Hello, Internet. It's us. It's Another World Tabletop. Coming at you again with Cosmere RPG stories. It's the season premiere. It is the very start of Season 3, Chapter 21 of our fantastic Stormlight Archive Chronicle. I'm so happy to see everybody. First and foremost, it's June 2nd. And I promise you, if we would have went live one day sooner, we would have been even more enthusiastic. Happy Pride, everybody. To all of my sweet queer family out there on the internet. It's great to have you here. I can tell you right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I think over 90% of our of our community is queer of some variety or another. Happy International Sex Workers Day as well. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. People got their flags out. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. So we left off on a rather severe note at the end of last session. The season finale had our Radiance going toe-to-toe, having their grand moment against Rave. They had had enough, and there was a sort of consensus between everyone. They had come together, and they had decided that Rave had to go. He had to go down. It wasn't negotiable any longer. He was starting to target people. He was targeting Berdalar's family. He was there. He's got some sort of suspicious and debaucherous relationship with Queen Aesodan, and had been scheming surreptitiously in the background to conspire with the Sons of Honor. And there was just so many stacking, horrifying truths about this man. And that is just aside from the sordid past that he shared with Berdalar. A siege was planned to take down Rave's main gambling parlor once and for all, where he kept his headquarters and his own personal offices. His personal effects were there. And then at the end of it, it turns out that he was, well, first and foremost, he was a shard bearer. And he had himself a full shard, armor, and a sword. This led to a very, very tense confrontation between the Radiance and himself. Large parts of the building itself suffering collateral damage, holes in rooftops, balustrades completely torn asunder, gigantic rents in the wood structure of the place, until it was finally stormed by the gathered efforts of the Herdazian quarter within Kholinar. Little Herdaz coming to bear and knocking down the door and finally saying that the thugs that had preyed upon them have had their last day in the sun, and they burned the parlor to the ground. A harrowing escape from our Radiance was also largely predicated by the fact that Rave did escape. There was a few revelations. The fact that Rave had a doppelganger fused, one of the many that had one of the surges, one of these powerful radiant surges, the surge of illumination. It turns out that the Sons of Honor, by and large, all had doppelgangers themselves, that there were few that had been walking among the people of Kholinar for a upsetting length of time. It could have been months, it could have been years, but the reality is that there was somehow, some way, a fused present during the death of Berdalar's father, as Rave's involvement with the fused goes back that far. Turns out that there was a connection, a deep, deep connection to the Herald, Nail, the Herald of the Skybreakers. And that connection was revealed to be that the Sons of Honor and Nail and the Nail loyalist Skybreakers had been hunting and slaying anyone who manifested a bond with the Spren, thinking that it was a sign of a desolation to come. Nail trying to prevent it, and it being, well, a fool's errand. Now, in the aftermath of the destruction of Rave's parlor, and the sort of deconstruction of his forces being scattered to the winds, our Radiants have, for the moment, went to go on their own paths away for a short period of time to recuperate, to find solace, to connect with loved ones, to plan for the days ahead, to consolidate what they have in order to fight back against the Suns, against the Skybreakers, against the coming armies that are going to siege the walls of Kholinar. There are so many foes, both inside and out of Kholinar proper, and so it is now more important than ever to find those who are ally, to find those who are close, and ensure that they are safe, capable, and equipped. And it is on that note that we are going to zoom in. We are going to zoom right in on the Sheath, where in this large headquarters, a few of the party have started to put down sticks, and that being Alstrom with his sister Alshir, and the three children, Karav, Tilov, and Van, that have all been sort of staying together and committing to that close-knit relationship that they had started to foster back at Alshir's shop and in Alstrom's laboratory. So I will ask you, Alstrom, in the aftermath, in this sort of like afterglow of the assault on Raves, I will ask, what is it that you would like to accomplish? Is there anything in particular that is on your agenda? There are a few things that you've lost, a few things that you should get after. And I know that you've been pining for a conversation with your sister.
Yeah, I think the first one is having a talk with Alshir about, yeah.
Within the sheath, there are a few private chambers that had been carved out by Soulcaster. The stone, the sandstone that lies underneath Kholinar being soulcast into Lavis grain. And it is these great square openings that have been sort of retrofitted into private chambers for the different members of the network. And there are quite a few vacancies. And so, it's been more than a week, since Alshir and the kids have been here. And the kids were a part of the network for years. And thus, they sort of take control. They put up some, they go and they take shale bark and some drop dead tree branches from just outside the city walls and bring them back to the sheath. And you and Alshir and the kids all have this very, very shanty town sort of private abode, with sheets for walls and comfortable if rough furniture, Van and Tilov sort of taking the reins on any of the construction techniques that you've taught them when it comes to metalworking and woodworking and all of that. And you see that sort of expressed in the little home that they've sort of crafted for you here, this interim living situation. And you find Alshir quietly humming to herself while essentially stoking a fire, a small fire, and cooking something over the embers for the kids. She looks up as you come in, and
was that the song Mother used to sing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm kind of missing home these past few weeks.
Yeah.
I miss the open water.
Too.
I miss the open water a lot.
The smell of the waves is... I'll never forget it, but it's nothing like having it in person.
Yeah, the river funk here in Kholinar just doesn't really compare, does it?
No.
No, it really doesn't. I miss the salt spray. I miss fresh fish.
It's so bad here. It's so far from the coast. It can't even be. Never. Okay.
I don't like to think about what the river crabs just outside of Kholinar have been eating. I just don't like thinking about it. I eat it, but it's
Oh, that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. I feel I've unfairly put you in this situation, and I want to give you the chance to go safely, maybe home, or I feel like you are here. All of this has happened because of me and my decisions. So I guess I'm just trying to give you a chance to make a decision of your own.
Alshir furrows her brow and sort of sets aside what she's doing and then turns in the seat towards you. Do you think that I'm not capable of making my own choices?
No, it's just all of this has happened so fast.
All right. She looks at you with a very familiar look of frustration. So when you decided to go and rob the devotary of insight and then lie to me about it, and then that all came to light, and then I didn't leave, do you think that was your decision?
No.
Are you my obligation?
I can't make that decision for you.
Don't try to make this one for me then. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. I cared about you, and I show it in weird ways, and I think this might be one of them. I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want to see anybody hurt.
What do I want?
And this could... Not this.
I want to live in the same city as my brother, and I want to invent fantastic things, and I want to change the world with you. I'm not doing that from Thalena, and I'm not doing that away from you. And if all of these horrifying things that you say about Kholinar is true, that Queen Aesodan is mad, and that there are Radiance coming to slay you, and that all of your friends are dangerous, and that you keep going on all of these harebrained adventures, and that your inventions are just that they are to keep Kholinar alive and to help change things. I came here because I love you, and I came here so that we can help change the world. That hasn't changed. Dangerous times mean tough people. If you want me to be safe, and you want to make me feel more secure, I think maybe it's about time I stopped sitting in the shop and trying to sell things right before the high storm hits.
Oh, what I'm hearing is you want to be more involved.
I think we need to start making weapons.
Okay. I like that.
You remember when I talked to you a while ago about the net and the spikes? Have you been working on that? After I gave you the blueprint, have you been working on that?
Normally I would say yes, but actually no, I haven't.
And I think we need to take a few weeks and do that.
I bet the kids have some ideas. But
I think that you tripped, stumbled, and fell ass backwards into the most brilliant group of kids on Roshar.
I completely agree with you. They are so freaking smart. They see things
brilliant.
in such a different way. It's so refreshing. You know, the kids, they're going to be all right.
The kids are all right.
At least these ones.
At least, definitely these ones. Definitely these ones. Alstrom, I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving Kholinar.
Okay.
If we have to run, and it's a matter of life and death, I couldn't live with myself if I was safe somewhere on the island, hoping that you were okay.
I'll share. There may be a day where something so bad happens that we may need to separate for a while. And I think both of us need to be slightly okay with that possibility.
It doesn't feel like a need yet.
No, but it's still something we should. But look, okay, moving on. We have no supplies, so I mean, like, the living here in the sheath, awesome, loving it, big fan. But we at least need to recover some supplies from the shop. And
I respect Navali. I didn't before. I thought that they were easily one of the worst criminal elements in all of Kholinar, that they were a murderer and a thief and just a horrible backstabbing individual. And some of those opinions have changed. But above all, I do think that Navali's living situation leaves a few things to be desired. I think the humidity down here is far too high for any proper experiments. I think that we go and we take back the shop. I think that if the Cobalt Guard truly is going to claim our workplace as some sort of crime scene or what have you, we go and we peel every single piece out of there. And, you know, we have to plant it somewhere else. If we can't have the shop anymore.
Can we maybe we relocate to Little Herdaz? Maybe near Berdalar? Or we split it up between here and multiple places, you know, not to keep everything in one area.
I was thinking exactly that.
But first we have to get the stuff back. So
we have an entire basement basically made out of aluminum.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're the richest people in Kholinar, I guarantee it, and we can't do anything with it. We can't touch
so
that.
Frustrating.
Well. It is the most frustrating. We can't be sudden aluminum merchants. We're going to be drawn and quartered. We're going to be ripped apart between two chulls if they actually find out that we have it.
Wait. We got a lot of aluminum, yeah?
A frankly dangerous amount, yes.
Have we tried making weapons with them?
I don't even know where to start. It's so soft.
Like paper.
It's like paper. It's so malleable. It's so incredibly. It makes for horrid weapons. I've done some testing with it, and it seems to block the effects of stormlight in general, and that's as far as I've gotten. I don't know what else to do with it. I mean, what can we make like a grenade out of it? Some sort? Can we put a fire spren into a, you know?
We'll have to experiment.
Yeah,
see what happens.
I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, the kids will have ideas. But first, where are they? We should probably plan our little heist.
Van pokes his head in from the other room, and he's like, "We've been listening the whole time."
Of course you have, but
you don't even squeak out a fart without me knowing it. I'm everywhere.
Why are you smelling our farts?
You know that's not what I meant.
Okay, so if you've been listening, so what's your plan then?
Honestly, the best we've got when it comes to the aluminum is cuffs. That's sort of the best we got.
Like cufflinks?
Well, handcuffs, like manacles.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's in between that or, I mean, I would get somebody to wear like a breastplate of it, or like, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know, but like
Yeah,
it feels like things that are like all encompassing would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a bolo. It seems like
That would be.
well, like some of your Wave doesn't like it. Wave gets very uncomfortable around it. We've cornered him a couple of times with some bricks of it. When he gets
Oh,
mouthy.
no.
Well, he gets mouthy,
Yeah, but you get mouthy.
And
I don't try to cover you with aluminum.
sorry, we're more clever than you. Listen, regardless, Wave's a mouthy little guy, and we have it seems like Spren completely shy away from it. So we know that not you, but Nev has been fighting against some other Radiant. Now it's like Radiant on Radiant fighting. We didn't know that you all aren't good guys. We kind of assumed that. Bummer that that's not the case. But I mean, what if Nev could like throw a net of it over one of them? Like it's like we could make.
Or what if they fell into a pit trap full of aluminum spikes? Oh,
I mean,
cooking.
We were trying to like take him alive, but I mean, like, yeah, I suppose. I was thinking like aluminum chains, like it's kind of sturdy enough for that.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Or like aluminum like mesh, like a wire mesh. Like we're trying to, it's sort of. We're thinking it's containment. Like it has to be some sort of containment.
Maybe like you could like mesh and then like creme it to the wall so you can't tell it's there.
Well, we're also thinking it could be used to like hide things.
We could use it. I mean, yeah, like we hit the we could hide.
I mean, Wave or like anyone else, like any Spren, like you can hide Spren inside of it. It's uncomfortable, but like they can be hidden inside of these things. Like there's, I don't know. That's about as far as we've gotten. Nets and like manacles and like containment stuff seems the best because we think that it should shut off powers. But hear this. If rumors are to be believed, this is like Kholinar's where all like most of Alethkar's half shards are coming from, right? Everyone says that they're banded with silver metal. It's all silver metal and silver metal and silver metal. So, what if that silver metal is aluminum?
Yeah, we have to try that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Talav was the one that actually caught on to it. Like, she said, and she's like, don't talk for me. I said, I was pretty sure that if you banned any sort of material with aluminum, it should be able to stop shards, like shard blades.
Okay.
I mean, and that's sort of the best we've got.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Not like blocking a shard blade could have helped me a couple times.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll.
Okay, so we need to go to the shop. Has anybody checked on it recently? Just seeing if anybody's watching it.
Yeah,
or have we just been?
They've got a few guards that sort of walk around it from time to time. I don't think they've found any of the aluminum. I'm pretty sure that they were after us, and the shop is just collateral. I'm fairly certain. I know they've looted the lab. Like, we're going to need new instruments. Like our calcinators and the alembics, and like we need new mortar and pestles. We're going to need a new kiln, and like they're going to have all. They're going to.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about that. It'll be.
Yeah,
we'll
but
be
now
able to get
they have my favorite crucible. The one that I wore enough of a groove into that the forceps actually hold on to it. It's
Yeah, but like, here's the thing: you're gonna have multiple favorite crucibles over your lifetime. So,
yeah, but like I'm allowed to be mad about it. Like I'm allowed to be mad about it. Like I'm mad about it.
Yeah, you can totally be mad about it.
I'm pretty mad about it. I'm gonna stay mad about it.
Yeah, totally. Did you name them? Did they have a name?
Maybe. I named it Adolin.
You would.
I would.
Classic.
So.
Yeah, then I guess I'll start planning start planning on how to.
You know what? To get like a.
It might take a while to do that. Like, I get that might be a couple of days.
To get like an efficacy sort of thing. Give me a. I think this is. Oh, this is a hard one. What do you think the role would be for retrieving specifically your tools? Like, what do you think would be the best role that Alstrom could use in order to go and, like surreptitiously retrieve all of his belongings?
I mean, like probably transformation. Like, go to another nearby building and just like make a tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely do like a transformation.
It's Bugs Bunny over there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Roll me. I'm gonna need 2 rolls. I'm gonna need a stealth, or sorry, yeah, I'm gonna need a stealth, and then I'm gonna need a transformation.
Stealth and a transformation. Yay! All right. Oh, that's an 8 for stealth. And
would you like to spend one of your would you like to spend one of your opportunities? I know you've got a few saved up. They do roll over. Would you like to use that to reroll?
Oh, they do? I thought they expired every session for some reason.
They don't.
I would.
We should have been
to use an
tracking
opportunity.
them. We should be
Oopsies.
tracking them. Yeah, that's all good.
My
That's all
bad.
good.
I will track them from now on. Yeah, I would like to re-roll that for sure. Thank you for that wonderful suggestion. $12 for stealth.
12 for stealth. Okay. We're gonna. Okay. Now the transformation roll, please and thank you.
A 6.
A 6.
Whew.
Would you like to fucking roll better?
Yeah, I would like to roll better.
Man.
Can I spend 2 focus and have...
Can I have a fucking break? He said,
and Wave help me out? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think what we're gonna do here is I firmly encourage you to retroactively raise the stakes.
Okay, so you want me to roll just
I
the
want
plot
you to
die?
roll the plot die, yeah. And we'll see what you get. And then we'll have to roll with whatever you get.
Blank.
Right. So, okay. Alstrom is far from the most tactical and stealthy individual in all of Kholinar. Your ability to weave through the streets and the back alleys in your home, in your neighborhood, is ever so slightly enough. You watch for guard rotations. You listen for individuals that are coming around street corners. You're trying to hear like the gruff voices of these Cobalt guardsmen that sort of like patrol the area, and using the insistent Van and Talav and Karav as scouts and as lookouts, which has been largely their role in the network for literal years at this point. You manage to find your way into the drainage tunnels just aside your shop, which weave throughout the entire subterranean portion of Kholinar. It's one of the most notable features is that Kholinar does not flood. It doesn't, it's on a high plain to begin with, and then with the high storm or even the Everstorm, it definitely all wicks away in a short period of time due to the large scale soul casted tunnels. You get there, and you are solid to solid is easy, and solid to liquid is decent. 6 is just not enough. 6 is simply not a good enough roll to cast this into a different form, into anything that would help your situation. So you sit now within this tunnel, and it really comes down to this. You're going to have to expend the very large amount of your Kremriel uses, and you're going to have to muck this out. You will need to start pulling away the grime and the muck that you turn the stone into. There's just no way that the transformation just isn't working. And as you pull this away, you do realize that the night is growing long. The Cobalt Guard are patrolling these tunnels underneath. And you get inside of your laboratory. You finally break through. You collect as much as you can of the aluminum, this pile of bars that you had collected, these very lightweight, compact aluminum bars. And although it is a light metal, you're still like filling a pack with aluminum. It's going to be decently heavy. And you would have gotten in and out really with no worry should you have been able to transform this and then transform it back, or use a Kremriel and then use it again. But burning through all of your uses and not being able to do this, I am going to ask for another stealth check that will make or break whether or not you run into the Cobalt Guard exfiltrating from your old home.
I'm going to raise the stakes, too.
I think that is a great idea.
And sorry, I'm grabbing a different set of dice because...
Yeah.
Those don't want to play fair. Okay. That's better. 17 with an opportunity.
17 with an opportunity. Okay.
Right? That's the opportunity.
That is the opportunity. That is. Okay. So, my question to you is this. The Cobalt Guard have rolled well enough to spot you on the way out. That being said, you have rolled an opportunity, and thus I will put the reins of the narrative in your hands. How would you like to twist the plot so that they either do not find you, or you are able to convince them that you aren't the person that they're looking for, or that you're meant to be there? Yeah. What is the specific circumstance?
Is it can I have is it possible to have the kids do a distraction, even if it's just a split second, so that they look away and look back, and in that like half 1 second, I've light waved myself to look like someone else and I've slipped into a crowd?
Yeah, like it's definitely, I'm glad that we're getting used to the, like, and I'm gonna impress this on everybody here, and like when you roll an opportunity and you have the ability to grab the reins, this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like, really curve the narrative to your benefit. So you sort of give like a whistle, or like a knock on the wall, or whatever, or like a click of a span reed, even like something silent that would, denote that you need.
We got span reed communication for
that
sure.
Would, yeah, like a little bit of
but we're doing the
communique, like a Morse. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you click the span reed, you give a little bit of a, like three clicks means distraction, or whatever the communication happens to be. But what you end up doing is sort of like catalyzing them. You would love for it to be just some sort of split second thing. But Van and Talav, to a lesser extent Karov, but those two are troublemakers, and they don't really do half measures when it comes to circumstances like this. So there is a Cobalt Guardsman. You hear the front door open, and that's pretty alarming. And then you click this in, and you know that they're going to be coming down into the basement at any time, and they're going to see you, and the gigantic hole in the drainage wall. So you hear Van from the first floor. He says, "Hey, Cremface, out here!" And the Cobalt Guard whips around and he says, "Hey, you's that kid!" And Van says, "No, I'm not that kid. I'm the guy you're looking for." And you hear the sudden, like, that crystalline cracking expansion of liquid. This is what we're going to take a page out of Abria's playbook, because you're running, and this is the thing that you don't see. A entire skin of water, just a Boda bag, slashed open and tossed all over this Cobalt Guardsman, and then nailed with a freeze reel. A creme reel is jammed down into the ground, and this guy sinks as he is frozen into the muck that is made from this. And then it is Karov. Karov has seemed like a very milquetoast, kind of like, a very tactical, very, very brilliant and quiet kid. Karov nails this Cobalt Guardsman with a fistful of like thieves powder, which is a combination of spicy peppers, crushed glass, and sand. And the guardsman is just blinded. And then the kids sprint dead away from the scene. And you hear the screams of pain from this Cobalt Guardsman as you are hastening down the tunnel with the spoils of your return, which is the cache of aluminum. Yeah. So, I feel like that is a decent point to zoom out on Alstrom. So, having reclaimed his his experiment gone wrong, Alstrom aways back to the sheath to go and plan the locations where his piecemeal lab with Alshir will exist across Kholinar, whether that be in Little Herdaz, whether that be in other locations throughout the city. But there is a completely different kind of scene unfolding across the rooftops of Kholinar. It's been a few days at this point, and Falarin and Nev are seen scooting across the rooftops, heading towards the theater.
Is it daytime, nighttime?
I would say that it is the final last little dregs of daylight. It is full dusk, and we're hitting that point where like the sun has gone down past the horizon and you just have that little bit of afterglow.
Okay.
Shadows are deep.
Yeah. So we're in the theater district.
Yeah.
And I think our goal was to go to the theater.
Yeah. Falarin has asked Navali, like, hey, he's asked you, I want to test out this ankle. It's been a few days. It wasn't as bad as I thought that it was. And, you know, I need to make sure I've still got the spring. So let's do a little bit of running.
Okay.
And
all right.
Yeah, so you do like some very light sort of climbing. You keep at a regular pace.
What I'm hearing is I run at half speed.
Yeah, this is very much like a half speed sort of situation. He's not trying to sprint or race or anything like that. He's just going through the paces. And eventually the pair of you hit the theater itself and climb up the well-worn and established carved-out handholds that the network has made in the sides of the theater in order to like very quickly get to the top. Like these are things where like knife marks have been made in order to like have finger holds, etc., etc. There's like pock-marked homemade climbing trails that go all the way up to the top. And Falarin at this point has not exhibited really any pain. He doesn't seem to be in any sort of distress. He's been, you know, bouncing from one foot to the other to sort of test the waters, so to speak. And eventually you get to the top of this, you get to the top of the theater. You see a little bit of glow coming from the interior of the theater, this like big circular, almost like I've described it before, but the theater itself is very reminiscent of some of the more lauded Western European open air theaters in, like, say, London. Like it's very reminiscent of like the Globe, where it's a circular venue with a big open middle and a stage inside and a little bit of a subterranean area beneath, 3 floors, etc., etc. So upon this top ring, where the rooftop gardens are, rock buds blooming, small flowers, a few planted trees in pots, Falarin sort of takes a second and takes a seat.
How are you feeling? Was that tough?
A little sore. I feel like I need to I honestly, I think if we're going to head out for anything really, you know, too terribly active, I think I'll have to stretch. But other than that, I mean, unless I fall in another pit, I think I'll be fine, actually. It's just a little sore. It's nothing worse than, honestly, I've had ribs that are about as sore as this ankle is after you've hit me. So I think we're doing okay.
All right. Well, then it's livable.
Very, very livable. I still got to put this through the paces, though. I still got to I still got to work on flexibility. I want to get a full range of motion on this thing and ensure that it's
What route do you want to take from here? Do you want to just run back the way we came?
No, I had a little bit of a different idea. And at that, Nev notices that like the lights that are coming from down below sort of like get a little bit brighter, and they seem to be directed upwards. And there's like a little bit of a band that's starting to assemble for like a rehearsal. Some music is starting to like very lightly play. And Falarin says, well, you remember how, Bertalar was teaching you how to dance and all of that, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the plan that I had.
She says, peeking over at the band because she's nosy.
Yeah, you peek over at the band and like there's a couple of actors, there's a couple of dancers. And it's very much like it's a rehearsal, but like the acoustics of the theater definitely lend itself to hearing every part of a rehearsal, even if you're within like probably a few hundred meters, a few hundred feet of the theater itself. You'll hear like, thin sort of music coming from it, but when played at full volume. But a little rehearsal like this, it's kind of nice. You hear like the chimes of strings being plucked and the breezy bird-like tunes of thin woodwind instruments playing on the wind. And you definitely understand that this is going to be like a full rehearsal. There will be like a decent amount of music being played. And Falarin looks to you and says, I have to be totally honest. That dancing that Bear and and the kids and you and I did, it was all really it helps you limber up. I've kind of been practicing.
I haven't practiced at all since that first time. I probably should.
He stands up to his full ridiculous over 7 foot tall height. This giant Dorito of a man, and he is Dorito shaped, and he says, well, I mean, if you're okay with it, I mean, and if not, then I can just do some stretching or what have you, but it's easier with a partner, and that's how I've practiced. But I was thinking we could dance on the roof and sort of I can limber up and test my ankle that way.
She kind of looks at him, but it's like, I mean, I guess so. That's fine.
Okay.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Her not processing.
He holds out his hand and he says, "Well, okay, I'll lead."
Okay. That makes sense. You're taller.
Yeah.
She'll take his hand.
Can I get a I think this is going to be, we're going to say agility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agility is good. Okay, that is 14.
A 14? You very easily keep pace, and you start feeling yourself like he's right. Falarin has been practicing. This is not like a small amount of improvement in such a short amount of time. Nev is practiced enough in, the ways of movement and forms and stretching and being limber and athletics and agility that, like, you understand. You're like, oh my gosh, Falarin has been, he's been really, really working at this. There are points where, as he's leading, like, you are up in the air for short periods of time. There's a few points where it's like a dramatic dip. He will bring you very close, and he'll, like, with your weight with him, leap into the air for a short period of time, lifting you both. It's a rather athletic display, and it's obvious that, like, he is putting his body through the ringer here, trying to work up a sweat and, like, test, moving around with the weight of someone else with him. But, like, I'm going to ask for what is it? I believe it's insight, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Insight. 7.
A 7.
This is so appropriate.
So Nev gets the distinct feeling that there's something else to this sort of display. Like, it's very much out of character for Falarin to do something like this. Like, he's a thug. He's a warrior, he's a extortionist and a second-story burglar, and there's so many facets of this man that you've known over the entire time that you've known him, that would never lead you to believe that his exercise of choice would be this, like, demonstrative sort of performance of a dance with you. You're not entirely sure, like, you don't get, like, to the bottom of things, but, like, you definitely get, like, oh, this is a little odd. And at the end of the entire moment, so to speak, you feel Jez sort of start swirling around you during this performance. The wind sort of whipping Nev's hair about, and there's a moment where almost without your engagement whatsoever, the pair of you and Falarin are dancing actually just like an inch and a half above the rooftop. A frictionless, wind-swept, just on the air, gravity is no option, or is no obstacle, sort of intimate moment. And then you hear Jez in your ear say, "Listen, kid, I know you don't get it right now, but I want you to look at this guy, and I want you to enjoy this moment." And then the wind stops, and the music dies down from the first set, and Nev and Falarin, even though dancing would be probably one of the things that Nev didn't think of first when it came to, like, rigorous activity and exercise and athleticism, you've worked up a sweat, and the only thing keeping you cool and from breathing incredibly hard is a very gentle, sweet-smelling breeze. And Falarin stands there. He's looking down at you, and you're both breathing a little bit labored. And he says, "Oh, okay." And you see just a moment of hesitation on his. You see a little bit of hesitation on his face, and then he just says, "I think my ankle's okay."
Yeah, and she kind of backs off a little bit. I would say so, if you're not hurting now, so.
Yeah,
Good.
no soreness on me. I'm gonna sit. And he takes a seat and he sort of like waits for you to either, join him
Yeah, she'll
or
join him.
yeah. You we've done a lot of work together.
Yeah, since I came to the city.
Yeah, I just when I fell in that pit and twisted my leg, you sort of broke protocol. And yeah, you checked in on me without you checked in on me without instead of keeping up the fight.
Right.
What's why?
It felt higher stakes, I think. We haven't normally fought people who have fabrials like that. I don't know. It
You
was
can
scarier.
you can see the look on his face that he doesn't seem convinced, really. And he says, but it's always network first. And all of the new crew are a part of the network now. And so we've been in situations like that before. Like we've stared down right down a crossbow bolt. We've been at the blade of, the wall guard, and you say that it wasn't really like, it's never really been like that, right? Like the stakes have always been high. When it was just you and me working together, and you weren't a Radiant, and neither of us really knew how to fight. Like, the wall guard was the fabrial users, and the when we did get tough, then it was Rave's men were the fabrial users, and there's always been there's sort of always been something more dangerous than us that have been pointing the sword at us. So like, it's not. Why did that feel different?
She shrugs. I mean what I said.
Okay.
There's stories of people turning into fire.
Yeah. People are telling those stories about Fira at this point. She's getting a reputation, right?
Well, if fear can do things like that, what can our enemies do to the rest of you? I can't shield you from that. I can't shield anyone from that. It is higher stakes now. Valarin.
I want a discipline roll from Nev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
A 15?
Mm-hmm.
To get very meta for a moment and look right into the camera. Nev is able to successfully push down and rationalize and compartmentalize their feelings right now. So I get it. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sort of perfect sense. I get it. I guess the stakes are higher. You know what they're calling Fira, right?
No, what?
They're calling her the Dawnflame.
Sorry?
Well, fire kind of follows her, right? I mean, the guy in the alley, and then Rave's place burned down, and people are saying that she can turn people into fire, and she's like, she's yeah. I've been spending a decent amount of time in the markets, and a lot of people are. She's kind of a folk hero at this point. There's a few people that are praying about it.
Market is very friendly to Fira.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what all went down, but I was in a restaurant, and there's this table of kids. I say kids, but they were like teenagers, and they were all burning a prayer to the Almighty, and it was glyphs for safety, and it was a glyph for hope, and then there was the glyphs for the dawn and for flame. So it's kind of crazy to say it, but I think people are sort of praying to her.
Interesting.
Well, when you
don't think she would like that very much.
I don't think so either. I was
Give
a little
her a heads up before she gets mobbed somewhere.
Well, I think it's people are talking about the powers of the heralds, you know, and it's.
Oh no, people cannot start calling me a herald next. Please don't. Can't keep up with all the names.
Yeah, it's No, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I mean, that's sort of where we're sitting with it. Frankly, I say we use it.
Yeah, you're always a fan of that.
Well, I mean, it's hard.
You started calling when somebody somewhere in Kholinar started calling me the knife. You were the first one to jump on that.
I will neither confirm nor deny that I spread that name like wildfire. I yeah.
Well, it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't even know what all I'm supposed to do other than be here and keep doing what we've been doing.
Well, I mean, live.
When did it turn into live instead of survive? When did that change for us?
Oh, I think it happened exactly when we had a family, when we had a community. We've got people that care.
That's true.
I mean, survive was good when it was us and Cutter and you know, we were getting beat over lava screen scraps, but like now it's different. You're a hero. And frankly, so am I. And so is Berdalar, and so is Alstrom, and so is Fira. People are... When do we start recognizing that we're special? And you can say you're not all you want, but we are. I mean, people... And it's only because people believe in us. It's only because other people say so. I would never throw that on myself. saying I'm special and I'm special for no reason. But I mean, like, we have a family to take care of. We've got the network, and the people of Kholinar look up to us. We've got, I mean, Bertalar's whole family has been, I mean, they're not hunted anymore by Rave's thugs. We have, I mean, Alstrom. I don't know when it happened, but Van and Talov and Karav, they're more Alstrom and Alshir's kids than network these days. Like, we've created... We've killed bad people. We've saved lives. We're changing Kholinar for the better. We're doing things that we only would have dreamt of. I mean, just a few months ago. So, you tell me. When did it start being live and not survive?
I don't know. It still feels like survive for me. I'm trying to figure that out.
It doesn't have to be easy.
No.
And you're not doing it alone.
I know.
And he sort of like reaches out and he puts a hand on yours. You don't have to do any of this alone ever again. You have to know that.
I think we need to get you a spren before I can say that.
I mean, what did you say? What were the words?
Saying the words doesn't get you a spren.
What do you know?
I look to where Jez is likely floating around.
Yeah, Jez is like in your blind spot where he usually likes to be, because he's a sneaky little bastard. And he pops up into your line of sight, and he appears before Falarin.
Is that a first?
This is the first time that he's been anything other than a ribbon of light for Falarin. Hey, kid. There's something you need to understand. It's about honor. And it's about being a hero. And you're saying the right things. You're saying a lot of the right things. In fact, you're saying so many of the right words, just not really in the right order. And I mean, it's to be so honest, you're a lot farther along this path than Nev is. Emotionally. Nev still doesn't want to be a hero and doesn't really understand and doesn't really understand, honor, or like she doesn't even want a proper like a proper fortress above ground with parapets and a barracks and uniforms and all of those, the things that go along with soldiery. And
we need money for that. That's not how the real world works, Jez.
Falarin says, and then Falarin looks at him, and Falarin grew up network and lived in the same slums and the same environments as Nev. And he looks to Jez and he says, so honor is real estate? And Jez is like, I concede the point, and then and then disappears back into a ribbon of light.
So I was right.
Falarin looks to you and says, "Nice guy."
Well, at least he showed himself to you.
A little judgy.
That's not even the beginning.
He knows that I'll find a way to trap a spren and throw it into the ocean if he's mean to you, right?
That's not how that... I don't think you could. Never.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty creative. I bet Alstrom could figure it out.
I bet Alstrom could figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear just in your head, Jez say, if you put me into a damn Fabrial, I will never forgive you. You will never be able to fly ever again. Don't you ever talk about that. Don't you ever do that to me. And Falarin.
I shut it out somehow. I don't know how,
totally,
but I do.
totally. Yeah, you just ignore it. Like, you can just ignore it. How many times has Jez yapped in the back of your head? And
so many.
Oh my
Especially
gosh.
now.
So many. So yeah, no, it's it's closing in on dark, and Falarin looks to you and he says, well, I mean, do you want to just kind of be nice to rest for an evening? Do you want to just... He like goes into his pouch and he pulls out some little spicy sweet treats, like little chili. They're like a Turkish delight kind of square, like a little jelly, that's like floral flavored with like really hot chilies inside of it and wrapped in chocolate. And he says, I brought some snacks if you want to just,
Immediately is stealing the snacks.
Yeah. He like pops one in his mouth and he's like, you want to just listen to some music and kind of while away the night?
Sure, why not?
Nice.
We never get to just hang out anymore.
No, we really don't.
She does, in fact, take most of the snacks.
Nev sort of like greedily, absentmindedly eats a lot of these like really hot, like make your eyes sweat, like real like gut buster, like no BS spicy little treats that Nev just loves. They're like a sweet, savory little delight. And Falarin says, yeah, I kind of figured you'd like those. And then he like has this little like parchment package with a little wax stamp on it, and he just passes that to you. He's like, you can have the rest of that.
Yay! Nev definitely takes that.
Yeah. The music goes on for the better part of a few, a good hour and a half, 2 hours, as like a full few stage rehearsal sets go through. And eventually the pair of you sort of pack up and get ready to go. But I think that's where we'll zoom out on Nev. Folks, we are going to take our human break at this point. We're at the halfway point for the evening, roughly. So get yourself a drink. Get yourself a snack and a drink combination that pairs well with like, innocent yearning. And go ahead and tell your mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, tell all of your Herdazian cousins, as well as your various other friends and family that Another World Tabletop is live right now on Cardi B's internet telling Cosmere stories. Tell your dog that I love them, and we will be back in a short 10 minutes. Do not go. Hello, internet. It is us, Another World Tabletop, coming back after the break to The Last Ideal. So we just left off on a totally normal, if a little bit odd, scene between Falarin and Navali. Nothing untoward went on. It was perfectly routine. Something that they do, with enough frequency that Navali wouldn't have even given it a second thought. And so, but after that, we zoom back out, and we are going to take a peek now. We zoom in on Fira, and we're going to narrate through a few things before we actually get into any technical role play. So Fira let me know before today started that in the days after the assault on Rave's parlor, that Fira was working on repairing her home after it was attacked by Sons of Honor agents. The door having been converted entirely to steel, the different, there's different like parts that have been completely torn asunder. The Sons having destroyed different parts on the inside before rushing out the back door, in their mad dash to get through. A few possessions, you notice like some leaves on that beautiful plant sort of like torn off, and like it's really an unfortunate event, but at the end of it, you get everything back to the way that it should be, and you are satisfied with the way that it looks, unless you say otherwise, unless you say like, I'm not happy.
I think it's not so much it's back to the way that it was. I think she's put a lot more intentionality with the way things are set up. Now that things were broken and she had to repair so many things, she got a better lock for sure. She's tended to the plants, and she's just made the place feel a lot more warm and inviting, and like there's more bits of color.
Totally.
There's more space, like she's expecting guests, like there's extra chairs. There's like a comfy lounge area now.
So you've really rearranged the living situation in your apartment, and to give folks an idea at home, it was a very Spartan existence before that. There was a lack of color. The furniture was all incredibly plain. The lock sucked. And the entire apartment was, by and large, not for living in. It was for sleeping and training in. It was a space with a roof that Fira happened to lay her head down in at night. And so, that being said, after it's all said and done and finished, and you're happy that you'll actually be able to host a few people, it is at that point, once everything's back in order, that you receive a rapping knock on the door.
I think at this point, Fira has become accustomed to doing a little peek into Shadesmar whenever she feels like alerted. She's not so much paranoid, she's just more paying attention to things like that now. After what happened.
Yeah, for sure. So you take a quick look into Shadesmar. You sort of reveal that sea of beads and the bright flames that sort of bob and sway over top of it, and within it in some circumstances. But you look at this flame, and then can I get an insight from you?
Yeah. That's a 13.
With a 13, you look into the sort of inner auras and the energies and the moods and the motions that are bleeding off of this flame that's in Shadesmar. You've started to learn, what certain things mean, that like the little coruscating colors can be discerned. You can read into the subtle vibrations, the tiny tones that come off of it, like song. And you're looking at a adult human, and the only emotion that you can read off of this flame is one that you recognize from yourself and one that you've felt on many separate occasions, although it's wavered, and that's reverence. That is a deep reverence. And they are standing just right outside the door.
All right. Well, she's gonna go and check in. Open the door.
You see a woman standing in front of your door. She has a small package in her hands, about the size of a child's ball. It's roughly circular, and she has auburn hair, and that denotes a little bit of Horn-Eater heritage. She's got a kind of the rough workings of like a black kind of uniform on, clearly hand sewn. And she looks to you and she sort of says, You're Feraniel, right? This is where you live.
Yes, but who's sharing that around?
And she looks nervous and a little bit guilty. There's definitely like a look of guilt on her face. And she's like, it's the kids in the market. They told me.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My name's Jorah. And this is for you. And she hands over this little bundle. It's sort of all that I can do. You're a Radiant, right?
Yes. But you don't have to give me anything. Are you the one who's been dropping off packages or treats?
That wasn't me until now, but I heard the kids have been. I think it's there's a little sort of group that looks up to you, but you killed the man that killed my father. You burned him alive in that alley. He was one of Rave's men.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
I was just a teenager. And you look at this woman and she's like mid-20s, maybe. My father he wasn't a good man all the time. He wasn't a worshiper of the Almighty. In the best of ways, he would be out too late, and he would drink, and he would carouse, and he would gamble, and he got involved with some bad men. But that man in the alley, he tortured my father until he died. And I've never been able to fight back because I'm just a woman, and I can't wield I can't wield a sword or turn people into fire or all of the things that you've done. I mean, you trained. The kids say you've been training a girl with a sword here.
Yes. Are you interested yourself?
I do want to learn how to use the blade, yes. I'm tired of feeling small.
Yeah. I know it's not really the most optimistic thing to say, but I just know worse is coming, and I think everyone should be able to protect themselves. So I agree. You should probably learn, and you're welcome to come learn with me.
Did he die slow?
That's going to catch Fira off guard. More than this whole conversation is. I wasn't really paying attention at the moment. My friends were in danger.
That's probably better. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay?
No. And I kind of haven't been. But that's not really your problem.
But I care. And you've come to drop this package off with me, and
Frame is
anything I
like
can do to help?
just inside your ear, as usual, just behind the ear, and he says, I am not a expert in the ways of human customs, but I believe standing in a doorway is a strange gesture.
Fira will nod. So she won't know what Fira's nodding to, but she's like, oh, yeah. And then, would you like to come in?
You hear before the woman says yes, Frame says, yes, I was correct. I am learning. And the woman looks, yeah, I'd actually really like that.
Sure, I could make you some tea. Come on inside.
Yeah, she comes inside and takes a seat, and you make a pot of tea. You know, she takes a glass or a cup or whatever, and she warms her hands with it, and she's just kind of, she lets out like a big sigh. I have been wanting to see that man dead for years. And I thought I'd have to pay someone, or that he would just live forever and never pay for his crimes. And it's tough. It felt like my whole life's purpose. And now he's just gone. And he defined so much. He took so much from me. And he's all that I've thought about, and it's everything that has consumed me. And my mother has been destroyed by this. She had to take a new husband and then another, and things have not worked. And my siblings it's been hard. It's just been hard. And there isn't a warrior in my family here in Kholinar. We're merchants or And now he's dead. And I don't feel like you took anything from me, but I feel empty. And now I need something. I need focus. I need to know that what I'm going to do next matters, because what I thought I was going to do that would matter was kill that man. And stop. And he's hurt people since my father. He tried to kill you, but you were stronger, And it happened so quick. It was like he was nothing to you. He was just suddenly dead. He's just an afterthought. That man was my whole life. So I need direction.
Kira's like standing there, like probably like clasping her hands. She's just feeling very awkward at this woman like trauma dumping on her and doesn't really know how to respond to any of this. So she's just sitting there, probably looking real anxious. So it's going to take her a moment to answer. First, she goes, well, you said that your family doesn't have a warrior. Maybe that could be where you direct your energy. Now, because when I feel overwhelmed or lost or confused or stressed, I tend to try to redirect all of that into something productive, something that will help me, like practice or learning something. So perhaps learning how to use a sword, it could be something that you direct that energy to.
That's what I want. And she reads like how ferociously awkward you're standing, and she just I
Spirit
know,
and sit down, yeah.
and she's like, I know it's a lot. I don't mean to. I mean, I came to a stranger's house to ask for to ask for help or guidance or something. It's just you're a lot of hope for me and a few other people. I mean, you're a woman and a warrior and a radiant, and you've served in the military and you're famous there, and we sort of gotten around that you're the one that struck down Tasimir, and he was a tyrant that stalked the markets and shook down stalls and took spheres out of the pockets of people that needed it. And it's like we have a name for you, and I don't use it much because I kind of know more about what happened because I know who the guy is. I've been hunting this man, and so I've been watching what you do pretty close. But they call you the Dawnflame. And it's not a small amount of people that are saying it.
I think Fira's gonna have like a visible reaction to that, like, you're calling me the Dawnflame because I burned someone alive? Like, Thanks for letting me know that. I don't really know how to take any of this.
I don't know who could, if I'm being so honest. I know I asked a few of the wall guard about you, just in passing, just recently. I haven't been stalking you for weeks or anything like that. It's just been since you slew that man. And yeah, they say that you were a logistician, and that you were very brilliant at it, and you were a very capable protege of Tirael and some man named Bakarin before that they spoke highly of, but kind of hushed. And, then there was some rumors about what you've done since. And that's sort of where I'm at, that you used the sword, and that you're a a radiant and all of these things, and I don't want to scare you off or anything. It's just I'm just reaching. I'm just really reaching.
Also, I just want to clarify too. I hope there's no misunderstanding that like I didn't kill these people because I wanted them to die. I killed them because I needed to protect people I cared about.
I think
And I think there's a distinction there.
I think that's why I'm here. Actually, I wanted to kill that guy because I wanted him to. That man, I was so obsessed with him, and I wanted him to die, and it was so much of my focus. And then when I heard about witnesses, you know, that saw what happened in the alley, and there was a guy that there was. They say that you were just protecting people, and that it was, you know, like, I mean, the word hero has been thrown around a lot, and it's not just you. It's Berdalar, and I heard that you've been that you're friends with Nev the Knife, and yeah, it's like a group of you. You like the stories tell, and I mean, it's hard not to look up or want to see hope in someone like you, because you're literally radiant, and so's, you know, so is Kaladin, and I mean, and Dalinar, and Urithiru is revived, and like there's all these stories of heroes popping up all over, and then here's one that seems to have suddenly been thrust into my life, for better or worse. And I know this isn't your responsibility, and if you do tell me to just go away, I mean I will, but I had to at least ask if you would. I just want to know how to use a sword.
Yeah, I'll definitely help.
Okay.
For sure. That's something I can do. That's
Or even if you could just put in a good word at the wall guard, I could go and learn there if you don't have time, because you and you know, I would, whatever it takes, I'm willing.
Let's say I'll put in a good word because I'm not really sure. I'll put in a good word, and if I have time, how can I contact you to reach back out?
I live in the market. I can give you where I live. I can tell you.
Okay. Yeah. So if I do have time, then sure, you know where I live and train now, but I'll also put in a good word at the guard for you.
I promise I won't drop by unannounced again.
Thanks. I'm a little jumpy these days.
I know this is so strange. It just felt right. There are others like me. I just need you to know.
That want to learn how to protect themselves and protect others?
They want to know how to fight, and they want to serve in the guard. And rumors are coming about an army gathering against Kholinar, and I mean, it's kind of an open secret that there's a woman training at Tirael's barracks, right? So it feels like there's a change happening, and I don't want to get left behind.
I agree with that, and I think everyone should learn. Everyone should be able to at least protect themselves.
Okay. Open your gift.
Okay. And Fira's gonna grab a package. And like open it. She's feeling very absurd.
Yeah, she's like very clearly proud of what it is, and you see that it's a scarf, and it's decently long, and then right in the center of it is like this brilliant flame that is inside of a stylized sun.
Ooh.
She says that's sort of the symbol that people are using as a glyph when they burn prayers to the Almighty for you.
There's so many things going through Fira's head right now. She's gonna focus on looking grateful for this present. Even though she's feeling a little weird about it, she just doesn't want that to come off. So she's like putting on that mask of, oh, I love it. It's so pretty. Thank you so much.
Yeah. My family does textiles.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's beautiful. She's gonna try it on.
It's warm, it's well made. Feels right. But a little uncomfortable emotionally.
Yeah, this is all very uncomfortable.
Jorah says, I'm not going to outstay my welcome. I've said my piece. That's what I came here to do. Thank you so much. And thanks for being what the city needs.
I'm not sure if I am what the city needs, but I'm going to try to help at least. And
Jorah looks a little pensive at that. And she says, well, I can tell you for certain. Kholinar didn't need another woman pushing span-read logistics notes. It needed a warrior, and it needed a hero. And, I mean, for better or worse, I think that's you.
sure will nod. And also, I'm happy that you're leaving that. Revenge is not healthy to be your primary focus, your drive. You can't let. I learned recently that it brings you to a pretty dark place when you let your anger and your motivation for revenge take control and guide you. And I'm glad that that's not where you're going to be focusing anymore.
I can't. I just can't. It was eating me. I felt helpless all the time.
That's what it does.
But here we are. I'm gonna go and prepare. I'm sure that I'm gonna need clothes and things if I'm gonna go to the barracks and learn. And I'll wait for you. If you do have time, I'll be around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're getting clothes, make sure you got something you can move in.
I think I'm gonna get a uniform. Something that's utilitarian that I can fight in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jorah stands up and she heads to the door and she says, "Thank you so much for everything." And she
I'll be in touch.
And she sort of drifts out of the house. Frame in behind your ear says, "I feel as if that was awkward. Do you feel strangely?"
I that was very awkward, Frame. I did not know how to respond to any of that. What, the Dawnflame? What? What?
It sounds as if you have been given a title like some of the heralds. Like Jezrien, the Beautiful. Or Town, the Wall.
I guess, it could be worse than Dawnflame. It's kind of cool sounding, but the reason behind it is a little complicated,
Well, you're right.
That's fine.
Huh.
Can you say that again?
Oh, you're right. You are correct. My question for you is, do you feel guilty?
About what?
Burning that man alive.
No.
Oh. I do.
Why?
Because that is a very horrifying way to die. We should venture to make these things quick. Boiling alive is well, I do not usually express
extreme.
feelings like this, but it made my, It made my brain not feel good.
Mine too. It was extreme, and that's why I needed to learn what I just told her. I went too far.
You have done that a few
But
times
I needed to
lately.
know. Yeah. I needed to learn where my line is.
I suppose that we do not quite have all of the time in the world to discover things slowly, but I feel as if torture and conflagrations are not the best way to test your limits.
It's not going to happen again.
Do you promise me that?
To that extent, yes.
That makes me feel glad.
She's going to look down at her hand.
It aches. It's a wound that hasn't quite healed.
Yep. And she's not wearing her safe hand glove.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am proud of you. For the second time.
This has just been a very surprising afternoon. But thank you.
I think that the only thing that is shocking is that you are surprised by your growth.
I think it's more... Always in the past, I've had a target that I knew I was working towards, that an expectation that I was trying to fulfill, a goal that I had to make someone else happy or fit a mold I wanted to be. And I think my surprise now is I don't have that anymore. I just have myself.
The only person's expectations that you should be trying to uphold are mine. I do know what is best.
Sometimes. But you did say I was correct earlier. You said it like 3 times.
Yes, because you have been listening to me.
Sure. And I think I'm also learning to listen to myself, too.
Frame drips down your body kind of like a blob of ink. And he usually becomes this gigantic form, sort of like his full extent of size. And he grows to be about eye level with you at this point. That is the very first time that I think you have said something of worth. It is time that you learn a singular truth. The Else Caller's journey is not to be directed. You chose. You chose to say yes to me. You chose to take up the blade. You have chosen to become a warrior. You have chosen to take the directions of the self and not the dominator or the churlish individual that would see you do their bidding. You are the intellect. I did not come back to Roshar to serve under someone that was going to listen to every single word that I said and no other actions be taken. I am the greatest guide that you will ever have, and the jurisprudence of the Inkspren will guide you into greatness. If you do not choose to take that guidance and make it into something better, then you are just an automaton. This is your first step into greatness. Take this moment. Crystallize it. Don't follow your heart. Follow your head. Heart is for the Windrunners. Heart is for Truth Watchers. Heart is for Will Shapers. We are warriors of the mind. Frame lays a hand on your shoulder. A very, very rare gesture. I feel that physical connectivity is appropriate at this time. You should embrace this title.
The physical connectivity?
The Dawnflame. Humanity loves symbols. The Sunmaker. The Heralds. Kaladin Stormblessed. The Blackthorn. You know these names, and they live a world away.
And symbols have power.
Inspiration turns mundanity into extraordinary. If you think for a solitary moment that you are not worthy of title and greatness and acclaim, then you will fail as an Elsecaller.
I think there's something to be said also about taking control of a symbol before it gets away from you. So if I own it, I can control how it's perceived. Rather than whatever the people in the market are doing right now.
These are the steps that you should be taking. In the most direct way that I can say it, do you think that those that are in control now have the best interest of the people you care about in mind?
No.
Navali suffers. Alstrom is considered a heretic. You have been hunted. The royal palace consorts with people like Rave. Their degradation, depravity, and debauchery have led to this. So, and then he starts to shrink, and his voice shrinks with him. Why do you not think yourself worthy of that control? And then he disappears up to the back of your ear again.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't have an answer for that, but she's going to think about it.
Yeah. I think we'll, well, I'm going to ask you, what was your next plan?
Yeah, before she got sidetracked.
Totally.
I think she had a couple of things that she was wanting to do. I'm not sure how much time left in this day there is, but she was wanting to check up on Tirael and Tira and see how they were doing, how things at the wall guard were doing. Especially Tira, after everything. She hasn't gotten a chance to really check in with her yet, and also wanted to talk to Tirael if there was anything she could do to help, especially after what happened with Rave. And she was also wanting to reach out to Berdalar.
Yeah.
And check up on him.
I think we'll, you go to visit Tirael and Tira over at the barracks with Lady Azure and et cetera, and he's sort of embroiled in training and preparations, and you notice a few oddities within the guard there. People are wearing a bit of a different uniform. The Kholinar blues have been sort of replaced with these more like darker colored like blacks. But Tirael says, you can come to me at a later time. You and I and Tira can discuss everything that has happened, but I am busy. I think it is important that we get together and perhaps bring. And he gives out like this deep sigh. He's like, perhaps bring Berlar and Navali and Alstrom. You notice that he says like Alstrom with a little bit more cheer.
Yeah.
And we can discuss how Kholinar will look going forward.
Of course, Captain. Yeah, I just want to help. I want to figure out where I could be most useful. But I'll regroup and we'll check in. But really fast, is Tira doing okay?
Tira's fine. Startlingly fine. I don't think
that's not what you're expected to hear.
I don't think it's. To be honest, I don't think it's what I expected. She's kind of like her mother and a bit like me.
She runs pretty face first into danger, and she didn't get hurt too terribly, and she is feeling a little... Well, she's been a little more careful, but the only thing that has really come from this is that, well, she wakes up with me, and then she immediately runs down to the training grounds, and she gives the training dummies the most proper shellacking that a child can give. And so, well, in the grand scheme of things, she's doing very well.
She does have a knack for a blade.
I know. I have the welts to prove it. She has ambushed me a few times. I don't know what you're teaching her, but there's a few kata in there that I am not entirely... Well, I'm not familiar with them. Something you learned from Bakaran, perhaps. He was a savant with the blade.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
I'll let you be.
Tafresh, dismissed.
Thank you, sir. She's going to head off.
Mm-hmm. To go find Berdalar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Berdalar, I suppose my question for you is, where would Fira find you about 5-6 days post the events with Rave? That's about where we're at in the timeline-wise.
Probably at the spark flicker, if anywhere.
That's where she would have gone first.
And like downstairs in the basement.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's her first stop is the spark flicker. That's where she just would assume he'd be.
Yeah,
Didn't
Verdana.
assume he'd be at home.
Verdana sees Ferraniel come in through the door, and she just like immediately like shoves a chowder wrap and a strong drink in your hand, not knowing nor caring about whether or not you drink yet. But she shoves the food and the drink in your hand, and she says, "Hey, Ganja, I'm telling you right now, Berdalar's downstairs, and he's storming sad. He's a sad sack of creme, and I think it might be because, well, you know, all the things that have happened to him his whole life. So, you know, maybe a pretty girl with, you know, a nice thing to say and a strong drink might be able to cheer him up a little bit. Maybe go and say hi, be like, hello, he's your friend, Fira. Maybe be a little... I'm worried about him. I really am. I think he's... Well, I think he's doing poorly. He smells good, and that's not normal. He's smelling kind of like, you know, kind of like sweet and good, and like that means he's like paying attention to things that aren't normal. I don't know. All right, I don't know. He's just acting a little weird. So, if you don't mind, as a favor to me.
Sure, but that's actually why I was coming here. I was gonna...
Oh,
I was looking for him. So.
Thank all the things that are good in this world. And then she shoves like another chowder wrap and a plate full of little Kremling bites and like all of these like symbols of love and care that Verdana would use to show, and like drinks and snacks and food and all these things. Listen, this is all in the house.
Not to offend, I was actually thinking of inviting Berdalar to a dinner, so I don't know if giving him...
Well, wait, hold on. You was going to take him out of here and take him somewhere nice?
Just to my place.
Verdana looks to you and is just like, well, right. And then she says, give me all that food. Give me all that back. Give me every single bit of that back. Keep the drink little social lubrication, and you have a fantastic evening with my man. Go ahead.
None of that. Fira's like, oh, wow, that was a weird response to that. And goes downstairs. What does she see when she walks downstairs?
The basement is empty. Bear is definitely in the secret room.
Okay, so she carries the drink and goes and checks the secret room.
Yeah. On the other side, once you open up the door, you would see Bear is currently wearing a quite tight-fitting black jacket at this time over some like black leather armor. As you open the door, he turns and looks, and he's got a bandolier of daggers, and then he actually is carrying 2 swords, like one in each hand. His hair is like slick with sweat. He puts both swords in his hand and slicks his hair back.
Hi.
Hi, I was looking for you. I heard you were sad.
No,
Would you like this
I'm great.
drink?
No, sorry, I'm busy. Maybe next time.
Busy with what? Are you practicing?
Yeah.
Have you been practicing these past few days?
No, I just during the daytimes, just during the day, and then the night I've been doing other stuff, so just keeping busy and good.
Well, how about a break? You see, I wanted to invite you to come over for dinner. I still feel like I owe you one for that time that you had me over with your family.
I mean, if we can be quick, I do have an appointment tonight that I have to get to, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you want this drink that Verdana put in my hand for you?
Sure, yeah.
And he takes it and pours it into like a flask that he then puts back into his backpack.
Sure.
Alright. So is now a good time?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, let's go. And we'll lead the way to head back to her place.
Yeah, Bear follows, puts the swords. She's the swords, heads back.
Mm-hmm. I think when you get there, she's gonna invite you in. You'll notice all the things that we spoke about earlier. That it looks a lot more homey, a lot more comfortable. There's space actually to sit down. She's redesigned her like kitchen area even. Before it looked like she was never intending to have company. There was only like one chair, very sparse, but it's definitely a different vibe when you walk in. Yeah, just have a seat. So I am gonna cook. Not soul cast, but actually cook. So it might take me, like 20 minutes or so. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. Do you mind if I keep working through what I'm working on a new style,
Sure. The training area, I redesigned it a little bit, but it's over there now, so.
Okay, great, thanks. Let me know if you need any help.
Yeah. And so Fira, in those past 5 days, took a time to visit. Is her name Aluka Mora?
Alukamora.
Yeah. talked to Alukamora at some point while she was like getting stuff for her new place, and researched how to make a unkalaki stew. And so that's what she's going to cook
And
in her kitchen.
unkalaki stew. Okay. Give me a crafting roll.
Great, because I'm great at that.
Let's see if you pull it off.
Yeah. I'm going to roll a pot, raise the stakes.
Are you
on that.
going to raise the stakes on stew?
Cooking? Yes.
All right.
Except
She's so
Yep.
she wants this to be good.
Chat, I'm telling you right now, there will never be a more important role in a Stormlight campaign than raising the stakes on stew. If you
I
know,
got
you
an
know.
at 20.
Okay. Okay.
And then nothing on the pot die.
And then nothing on the plot die. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
And
Wow.
one clarity with the stew. She doesn't know if Berdalar likes spicy food, so she purposely leaves like the spice on the side so it could be added.
Berdalar, you train. You do some striking drills. You do some inventive forms and movements. You start to learn a little bit more about your body and how to twist it and move. And you've spent these days developing a lot of muscle memory. And then you've built up a bit of a lather, a bit of sweat running down. And you feel your stomach rumbling as what can really only be described as one of the most tantalizing smells that you have ever had tickle your nose in your entire life reaches you. You feel so very much like you've walked past some of the nicest eating establishments in all of Kholinar and not smelled delights like this. The proper amount of spices. You smell the peppers and the different spice pods and the rich meats and the perfectly spiced grains, and your mouth starts watering involuntarily. You just fresh baked lavis right against the side of that sunken oven, and just everything is setting your mind alight. You got to get a bowl.
Yep. Berdalar peeks his head through.
It smells great. Is it ready?
Yeah, I think it's good. And she's gonna bring it to the table, and I put the spice on the side. I just don't know if you like spicy. Just wanted to be thoughtful. But yeah, it's ready, I think.
Thanks.
Bear sits, grabs a little cloth, pats his head, and his back a little bit, puts it away because he feels gross now.
Great.
Takes the spice, pours half of it into his portion, and mixes it in.
You'll notice that Fira takes some of the spice and adds it in too. She's working on that tolerance.
Oh, scandal. Safe hand glove off. Spice in the food. Nev? Is that you? I'm sorry.
It's Nev's influence.
You both take your first bites. And you can truly describe this as one of the most fantastic bites of food you've ever had in your life. Fira, there's a part of you that fully understands that there is a little bit of luck and fluke to this. You are not an extravagant chef, but the reality is that neither of you are looking for a gourmet experience. You're making unkalaki stew. This tastes like a home. This tastes like hearth. This tastes like family, like all of these spices mingling and the little lavis grains and the breads mixing with. It's a comfort that can really only be described in memory. You don't really recognize this as like, oh, this is a crystalline, observable experience I'm having right now. No, it's a reverie. It's really a reverie. These kinds of meals are rare and so far in between. You're brought back to when your mother made you soup when you are sick. You are brought into the forefront of your mind when you're having the best meals of your life with family and friends. You're in a bawdy tavern just after a fight and you won and the other person was in the wrong and someone buys you a round of food and drink. It's all of those memories wrapped up in one. It's not decadence. It's not finery. It is lovinable.
And she's gonna anxiously watch to see Bear's reaction to the food. She's like very nervous if he's gonna like it.
Yeah, Bear takes a little bit of the lavis bread, takes a bite, starts to tear up just a little bit, and then grabs the bowl while it's still hot and just fully slurp mode right from the start.
It's gonna feel like if you looked at her at all, it's like she almost hasn't taken a breath since she sat down at the table with you. But at that, it's like, oh, a little bit of relief. She was so nervous that you wouldn't like it. And she's, as you're eating, both of you are eating, she's just, yeah, as I said, I just wanted to, again, to make up for that other time. And honestly, I wanted to check in on you with multiple things and everything that's been happening. Like, I don't expect you to be all right after what happened with Rave, so I'm not going to ask, are you okay or are you all right? I'm just going to ask, how are you holding up? Like really?
Right, yeah, I'm great. The stew is really good, so thanks. That was great.
Thanks. You're all right?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
I mean, Verdana said you were sad and you didn't look all right when we left the casino.
I've been busy, so... yeah, no, I mean, I was upset, and then I got some work done, and I'm still, good now, because I am just keeping busy, and as long as I keep going, then I'm good, so...
Can I get any sense of, like, how much he's lying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I think this is, since it's between two player characters and like the stakes aren't insanely high. How much does Berdalar want to have it be obvious that he is not well?
Well, I think he's more than anything, he's lying to himself.
Okay, yeah, then you know
much
what?
more than he's lying to Fira.
Cool. Then I would like...
Fira's recognizing that.
Yeah, I'd like 2 rolls, I think, from Bear, and then it'll be 1 from Fira. But before we get to Fira's roll and Bear's second roll, I really do need a discipline roll from from Berdalar. That's a big one there.
17.
A 17. Yeah. You are delusional. And that is a coping mechanism. And that is safety. That is hard to overcome. You feel, unfortunately, comfortable falling into old habits that keep your emotions safe when things have gotten incredibly hard in the past. And you believe that you are doing the right thing. And that belief is entirely entrenched in trauma and literal delusion. So that being said, I think that's a deception with advantage for Berdalar, and that's an insight from Feraniel. That advantage stemming directly from the fact that although it is a lie, you believe it.
21.
Yeah.
Deception.
21 deception. Yeah, okay.
I want to argue. I think in seeing this, and especially hearing him say that, I've just stayed busy. I've been staying productive. Fear is seeing herself, how she was like a few weeks ago. Those same words came out of her mouth. And she knows that she was lying to herself. Now, in hindsight. And I think she's picking that up. So with that context, would that change anything about how she's rolling?
I don't think that's going to change how you're rolling, but I will say that regardless of the outcome, I think regardless of the outcome of this roll, you're going to have a pretty decent understanding that you and Bear are, for better or worse, cut a little bit from the same cloth. And what the extent of that hardship is going to be like, because no one's okay after the person who killed their father turns out to be, a fused double agent, horrifying monster that gets away. Like, no one's okay after that, but the extent to which his hardship is affecting him, that's what this role is.
Yeah, I use that. The good is on the soup.
Yeah.
I got a 8.
You got an 8. Okay. Yeah, I think what I'm going to give Fira in this moment, Bear rolling the 21 and you with the 8, is you see hurt in his eyes. Bear isn't and hasn't been okay the whole time that you've known him. He's a harshly traumatized individual from deep familial loss and a sort of obvious obsession. So him saying that he's busy, Berdalar isn't busy going and coping. Berdalar is not busy going and doing, work in order to feel stable. Berdalar is busy doing exactly what Berdalar usually does. Diving into dangerous situations, throwing himself into investigations head first, and burying himself, like you, in labors that distract him from dealing with his emotions. So, but these are things that Fira knew. These are things that Fira has seen. So how bad he's doing right now, you don't know. What you do know, nothing's changed.
Yeah. I think it's a little like, yeah, she recognizes that, oh, that sounds familiar, but there's still so much she doesn't know about Berdalar that it's like, okay, but what's under that? There's still confusion there. Okay, well, I mean, it's good you're staying busy. I was really worried about you.
Oh, don't be. I'm good.
Third I've been worried about you this whole time I've known you.
You don't have to be. You don't have to worry about me. I'm great. I'm good. I am working.
Are you taking care of yourself while you're working?
I mean, look, people say things like that. I put on new clothes. And I had a bath. So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I went to the bathhouse, and it was really nice, and they were very kind to me.
Nice.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, I haven't been home, right? I haven't been sleeping, but that's okay, because I'm close, I'm really close.
Close to what?
All of it.
Mm.
I'm starting to see how it all fits together.
Like the Sons of Honor type stuff?
Yeah, the Sons of Honor and the people, that Rave wasn't Rave, and there are other people that are like that, and I'm sniffing at it. I know I can figure it out. I'm gonna figure out what they're doing so that way I can stop it before it happens,
My offer still stands. That I want to help.
Do what?
You figure it out.
I appreciate that. I do. I'm good for now, once I figure it all out, I will bring it back to all of you, and we can tackle it. But right now, I'm just, I'm focused, and I don't want to lose that, If I bring you, or I bring Nev, or I bring Olstrom, or I bring Devin, or anybody, I'll be thinking about them, and I'll be like, oh, I don't want them to get hurt, so I can't focus all of it on what I'm doing. And I don't want anyone to get hurt, so I think it's best if I just go take care of it.
I think there's going to be like a moment of silence after that. Like Asphira is going to like focus on her bowl, kind of fiddle with it a little bit.
Bear's done. Sets it aside.
Yeah. Also, I still never really asked about what that all was with Clem. I've wanted to ask. I just never found the right moment, and maybe there hasn't been one since we went to see him. And you don't have to tell me. I'm not trying to pry. It's whatever is in your history is personal, and I just, when I was there with you, I really wanted to stand up and defend you. I just didn't understand enough to do it properly. And then it's just been everything happening since then.
What exactly do you want to know about it?
Well, I didn't understand what that whole interaction was. What your history with him is, he seemed heartbroken, and there was like strange spren around him that I didn't recognize. There was like sorrow, but something else was there too. And I didn't know what it all meant, and I didn't want to overstep. But I also didn't like the way he was talking to you.
I completely deserved everything he said, so don't have to worry about that.
Did you do something to hurt him?
Not to hurt him, but yeah, I did, so.
Something that ended up hurting him.
That's kind of what I do, Fira. You haven't figured that out yet, so.
I know you joke when something hurts, so. You don't have to do that with
I
me.
wasn't joking.
That's it? That's what that interaction was?
He was my best friend. We disagreed on a lot of things. I got my head so far up a chasm fiend's, that I couldn't see what was right in front of me. So I missed a lot, and I'm still missing a lot, and I've been missing a lot ever since, and I need to do better, so I will.
Better with not missing things?
Yes. There is an entire underground collective of whatever that I didn't see, that I didn't know about. I pride myself on knowing things, about knowing everything. That's what I do. That's who I am. And if I don't know things, then what am I? I'm nothing. So yeah.
You're a hero, is what I've heard.
I don't know who you've been talking to.
I pride myself on knowing things too. I think that's why I'm asking all of this, because I want to understand. Not just what you brought me along with you that day, and I was just very confused.
And
at
that
what
was
I
a mistake.
looking at.
I shouldn't have done that.
No,
I should not have
no,
brought
that
you.
was the. That's not the message I want you to get from this. I think that bringing me along was the good thing to do. I just wish I understood more. Not just that, not just Sons of Honor or the Ghost Bloods or whatever we saw in the casino. I think I want to understand you better.
Okay. Ask me anything. I will give you the best answer I can. Okay?
Well, I don't think Fira was expecting that response, so she's caught off guard at that. She's like, well then what? Why was that so intense with Quim? What is the history there?
He was my best friend,
Yes, you've said that.
and I made his life hard because we worked together. We started doing what I do together, and I just pushed him into dangerous situation after dangerous situation, and I started seeing him as my employee more than I saw him as my friend. And when he blew up at me, I waved it away. I went, oh, can we get over it? We fight, it's whatever. And I pushed him away, and I pushed him into whatever he's involved in now, which is terrifying, and he's still important to me. And I want him to know that, but I don't know how to get him to see that, and now it's been too long, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why.
Is that why you keep trying to push us away too? I feel like you've been keeping us all at like an arm's length. And I've been understanding you in pieces and emergencies and all these fights and then your jokes. And I just want to understand you more than in pieces.
Clem is right. I am selfish and obsessed and dangerous to be around. And I don't think I'm going to change.
I've already seen you change for the better.
I have work to do.
Yeah, I guess. You don't have to keep pushing us away. And I know I've said this before, but you can come over here anytime. You know, if you need somewhere to go. I know home isn't good for you right now. You can use the excuse you're checking on my new lock if you must. I know I'm not the best company, but I can try. If you need quiet, I can do quiet. If you need to not be alone, I can do that too. Just I care about you.
Yeah, I know. I know. You do. The lock's good. And you are great company. I would enjoy your company again soon, probably, but I do have to.
Yeah, your appointment, you said, yeah.
I have to do this. So,
Are you putting yourself in danger with this tonight? More danger than we are all already in? Because you've had a habit of doing that in this short time I've known you so far.
I'm gonna be really cool and mysterious.
No.
And Bear's actually going to get up and move the bowl to the side. Is going to come up, and because he's an absolute manic pixie man right now, is going to lean in to kiss Fira. Slowly.
Yeah.
Very slowly.
Not what Fira was expecting. Caught off guard. But she'll return the kiss.
Yeah, it's gonna be super dangerous. Okay, bye. And just bolts.
What? that is probably the surefire way to make sure that Fira does not follow. Like just doesn't know what just happened.
We're gonna
Yeah.
frame on the back of Fira's ear says, "Ah, I see that you have chosen someone for copulating. I must say, that is a poor choice."
Fira is so caught off guard that she can't even argue that Frame said he liked Bertolar like a few days ago. So
You have mentioned this, and sometimes say his name while you are sleeping. And I thought that it was a nightmare, but now I am thinking otherwise. Ha. Well. As with all things, I will guide you through this the entire time, Feraniel. And then we are going to zoom out from Feraniel to Manic Bear walking through the street. And Tila is suddenly and so very much just abruptly in front of your face floating. What was that?
Bear puts in another piece of ridge bark because he has not slept for 5 days. Like genuinely, he hasn't slept for more than half an hour for 5 days.
What was that?
Was what?
You kissed that girl.
I guess that's what that was.
You kissed that. You kissed that girl. You kissed Feraniel.
Okay, why are you asking if you know what it was?
Well, yeah, because you've never. Why I wasn't expecting that.
Neither was I, to be honest. So
you're saying that wasn't that you did that you weren't planning that?
No, I wasn't planning anything.
I'm your spren.
Yes.
So you should tell me things that you're thinking.
If I had been thinking it before I did it in that moment, I probably would have run it by you.
You would have said that's a good. You would have, if you were thinking right, you would have said I
would have said, Pila, do you think that this is a really bad thing for me to do?
No, yeah, I think it was a good thing. I think it's a good thing that you did. I think that's good. I think you need that in your life. I'm happy. Why are you? Who?
I don't know. Was that a thing that I should not have done? Was that?
Oh my God! By the Almighty, of all the things that you should be reconsidering in your life, and it is kissing a beautiful woman. Get your priorities straight, Berlar. What's wrong with you? No, you should stop staying up for 5 days straight and chewing ridge bark. You should stop chasing dark men shrouded in shadows in the alley. You should stop putting your life on the line.
I am doing my whole thing,
I know what you're doing. 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 I'm in your head.
Yeah,
just not
so
right
you
now.
Know that I'm doing what my oaths tell me to do, which is find the truth. I'm finding the truth.
This isn't the truth.
What do you think I'm looking for? I'm just looking for nothing?
No, I think you're looking for a tragic end down a back alley.
For a tragic end? No, I'm not. I'm trying
yes,
to
you are.
I'm doing my job.
I do not think that you are doing a bad thing. I think you are going about it in the worst way possible. You have friends and you have loved ones and you have all of these terribly important things in your life that you are throwing away. If you die, I die, you selfish, creme-sucking, absolute bastard man.
I am not going to die. I'm not going to die. Do you know why? Because I have superpowers.
That's what my last bonded was so much better than you. He was so much more powerful, and here you are. Here you absolutely are saying that you're not going to die. He didn't die either. He just broke his oaths, and then I almost fractured into 1,000 pieces spread across the Cosmere. You are being a selfish brat right now. You are being such a man. You're being such a man right now. Gods, but that was the right choice to kiss that girl. I'm
sorry.
I know.
For many things. I am going through some changes.
That's why I'm being patient. I know.
I'm just not. I feel like maybe if I had have done things by myself on my own, maybe I would have caught Rave. Maybe if I wasn't thinking about what everyone else was thinking about me and I just did it the way I should have done it, then maybe he wouldn't have got away. And that might be a crazy thing to think. But I screwed up. And now he's somewhere else, hurting someone else. And that's on me.
Not a single thing about the patterns that you have developed in the way that you hunt people has ever had a consequence on the grand scheme of your life yet. You haven't caught Rave, you haven't stopped the Sons of Honor, and you do not have a solid mental health. You're spiraling again, and you're going to become the same dirty, depressed, obsessed man that you were months ago. And you will have nothing to show for it. You have people that love you, and you have a literal bond to a piece of the divine now, and you are choosing to do this alone. That's your choice, and you get to make it. But as long as you are wandering down dark paths alone, and you are not listening, and you are not letting love and light and fellowship into your life, I am going to bring you damnation every step of the way. And that is the truth. This is the truth. So go. Walk. But you don't get to be alone anymore. That isn't a choice you get to make. I am with you. You can walk away. You can walk away from Fira and Nev and your family. You can throw away everything that you have. You can learn all of these truths and get more sad and more angry and more horrified, but you don't get to throw me away. And if you throw it all away and you walk down the wrong path and you are finally at the very end of your rope and you find something that you cannot overcome and you die, I need you to know that I die with you. You made this bond. You made that choice. You talk about your choices. I was one of them. So, let's go. Let's hunt another lead. Day 6.
The man we're going to meet with might have the location of Quintus Venth, or at least where he was.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a good lead or not, but...
No, it's probably a good lead.
All right.
I think...
Thank you.
Yeah.
For being with me.
This hunt is the only thing in your life that matters. And I know that that's how you feel. But I need you to know that you're the only thing in my life that matters. So I'm going to walk with you in the dark. And I hope if we find what you're looking for, that it actually helps. And
This hunt is the only thing keeping me alive. Right now.
no, ridge bark is keeping you alive right now.
No, it's keeping me upright. There is a difference.
There is a big difference.
Okay, last one. And then I promise I will go to sleep.
Yeah, it's... I think a lot of the reason why I'm even giving you this is that it is a quick moving situation. And if we don't act, I mean, it's just... Why couldn't we ask Nev? Nev would help. Nev is good at this.
Nev's busy.
Nev is... Presumption of the workload of other people is an absolutely toxic, horrifying trait. Your friends give things unto you at their whim, not yours. You don't get to choose if she's too busy. You don't get to make that choice. You can
Okay, you're right.
You don't want her help. Just say it. Just say it. You want to do this alone and you want to hurt and you want to wallow. You say that, you say those words, we go off and we hunt this man. Right now.
I want to not need anyone. Is that close enough?
Yeah,
I want to not need anyone's help, okay?
Yeah, that's close enough. Can I get an... I think it's an investigation, or is it deduction?
Deduction.
Yeah, I think that's a deduction from Berdalar.
Oh, 24.
A 24 is an incredible roll. Every part of Berdalar is aching. You hunt down leads, you walk into parlors, smoky dens of iniquity. You follow these leads, you shake people down. In bygone nights, these would have been defining moments in Berdalar's journey. These would have been the things that shaped him. Hurting people, squeezing a hand a little bit too tightly to impress a threat, putting on disguises. And it's tonight, so sleep deprived, making rash acts that all of it feels routine. It feels hollow. It's progress. But the thrill of the truth, the thrill of hunting down people that hurt others is not there. This feels performative to the self. It is nothing but a meal to feed your own fractured ego. And by the end of it, you catch that final strand. And the chase is on. Kenth was his name, right?
Venth, I think. Venth.
Yeah, it was Venth. Venth is seen walking down a dark alley at night, and you're stalking him, and you feel like you're so very close, but you're so tired. Your brain and your body can't keep up. And it's a sharp and painful recognition that wearing yourself this way has consequences. You lose the trail. It isn't something that is an immediacy. It isn't and then he walks into a crowd and his skills get him away from you. For the first time in many months, Berdalar loses a tail. And it isn't some hopeless loss. You know where they frequent now. You understand their haunts. You have every breadcrumb that's necessary. But there's a moment of hesitation where you go to leap from one shadow to another. You stumble and roll your ankle a bit. You fall into a wall while trying to hold yourself against it to create a low profile. You're crouching behind a collection of shale bark crates. And you go to stand and your legs cramp. 5 days. You see shadows that weren't there. And you think it's illumination, it's me. You're having delusions. You are sustained by ridge bark. You are using a heavy narcotic to even stay upright. And that laser focus comes at the cost of any finesse. You go to draw your dueling cane baton from its sheath, and you fumble it, and eventually get it out into a shaking hand, and you decide to call it off. And that's the moment where you lose the tail. You think to yourself, actually, this is a question that I have for Berdalar. Does Berdalar stop the chase out of a sense of self-preservation or a need to get the job done? Because you feel both in the moment, that this could lead to an untimely demise, and it could also lead to failing.
It's a little bit of both. He knows that if he dies tonight, that his job's not done. And there's a lot more to do after this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what does it, is like, yeah, if I die tonight, then, you know, all of these things that I know that no one else does go to waste.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think Bear just, like, at this point, he's so tired, he just finds like a stand that someone didn't take down, you know, pulls himself up underneath it, you know, and just passes right out.
You find the friendly textile salesman, that same one that gave you that edge way back in the first episode. And you thank whatever higher power that will listen, that underneath his stall, behind a small panel, is a cot. It's nothing fancy. And to try to set up bed or anything like that, you reach into that pouch to just give yourself one last little boost in order to get tucked in, and you go and you reach, and you realize that ridge bark's been empty for some time, and you've been reaching into a completely different pouch, and you've been chewing on clay. And so, fitfully, clay pressed into your palm, fingerprints making indents, you fall into a fitful and incredibly disturbed slumber. And that, my friends, is going to be where we leave our episode for this evening. Hi, everyone. It's us, Another World Tabletop, playing Cosmere RPG games here on Cardi B's internet. Thank you so much for coming to hang with us this evening. Thank you for joining us for this story. Thank you for joining us for the season premiere. I feel like we made a lot of progress here tonight, everybody. In which direction, good or bad? I mean, that's up for debate, but it was progress. This was a lot of fun. This was very entertaining. I had a grand time playing with everyone here tonight, and we're gonna be back next week on Tuesday. We'll be.
May I speak briefly?
Oh my
before we
gosh!
wrap?
Please.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you are struggling with anything, mental health, substance abuse, any of those things that make the brain go ba ba ba, talk to your friends, get help. Don't push the people you love away. They do care about you. Bertolar is the world's worst example, and mental health is important to me, and I know it's important to everybody else. Take it seriously. Love yourselves. Let other people love you. Don't be like Bertolar. Except for like when he's kind of cool, you can do that part.
If you want to learn super cool like combat moves, and like you want to be a detective and you want to do all of these wonderful things with your life, do all of those, but then also love your friends and let them love you. And seek help. Don't use drugs. All of those different things. Folks, we're going to raid out. We're going to raid out into Distracted Elf. Distracted Elf is a good friend that I've LARPed with for a long time. They're doing a subathon. She's great. It's Pride Month, and Elf is a proud member of the queer community, and we're all huge supporters. So go throw her a follow. She's a very, very good individual. Very fun, very equitable. So yeah. There it is. Yeah. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. This was a heavy episode. Go tell your friends that you love them. If you take one thing away from tonight. See you on the flip-flop. Good night.
Good night.